Hi everybody, Forerata Live here with another Keyforge video. This time it's some more Mass Mutation spoilers that have come out over the last couple of weeks. I'll be looking at House Shadows, and if you want to check out some of the other houses and some other Mass Mutation cards that we've seen recently, please do check out my other videos. I had to split them up into different houses because there have been so many cards revealed just recently, and a big shout out to the community and everyone who's contributed to finding those cards, revealing those cards, sharing them online, particularly the Sanctimonious Discord. I'd really recommend joining that if you're interested in Mass Mutation spoilers. So this video, let's have a look at House Shadows. And before I get stuck into it, probably the most exciting bit of news in the last week from FFG, a new date for the release of Mass Mutations. Previously we just knew it was going to be sometime in July. Now they've come out with the 10th of July date for the worldwide release. Mass Mutations is going to be coming out in China and Taiwan a little bit earlier. But this is the point, 10th of July, when we'll see it around the world, and I can't wait. I'm really excited about this set. Now, let's get into the Shadows cards. And let's have a look at some creatures. First up, Johnny Longarms. This is a creature we've only seen from the Chinese cards that have been revealed. And again, many thanks to those on the Sanctimonious Discord for finding and translating these. This is a mutant thief. Each friendly mutant creature gains Destroyed, Steal 1 Amber. It's a 4-power creature. Nice bit of artwork and an interesting effect. So I think if you've got a deck with a whole load of mutant creatures in, yeah, this is going to add a bit of extra steal from Shadows. Next card, another creature, Liam Yen. Hopefully that's the correct translation. It's an elf creature, it's elusive, and at the start of your turn you may deal 1 damage to a creature. So 3-power creature out on board, start of every turn you can do 1 damage to a creature. Now given that there's some quite interesting destroyed effects where you might want to do a bit of damage to one of your creatures, you might want to take wards off your opponent. There's quite a few 1-power creatures in Mass Mutations, particularly in Shadows, so just being able to deal that 1 extra piece of damage is actually quite a handy little effect, so a nice card to see as well. And another creature we've only seen in the Chinese cards so far. This is Mastermind. This is an elf thief with elusive, and at the end of your turn you put a scheme token on Mastermind. Now I know people are kind of a bit sick of hearing of these random tokens, so I guess you'll just have to use whatever you want there, but you basically put a token on Mastermind at the end of your turn, and then it has an action. Remove each scheme token on Mastermind. Steal 1 amber for each scheme token removed this way. 2-power creature, so not going to stay on board for too long if your opponent really wants to get rid of it. Does have elusive. Effectively you're building up a kind of bank of steel if your opponent can't deal with Mastermind. Okay, and now this is a really interesting creature, Bo Nithing. Play, steal 1 amber for each forged key your opponent has. Only 2 power, but basically you're getting all the benefit on play. So if you get this in your deck and you draw it late in the game, you know, potentially you're going to just steal a couple of amber off your opponent, just cause a bit of disruption, so quite like that, quite like the artwork as well. And now, Boss Zarek. This is another mutant, and it's put 3 capture enhancement icons into your deck. 3-power creature, each friendly creature with amber on it gains elusive. So that could be pretty interesting if you've got this in a deck with a load of Saurians that are capturing amber, and suddenly they've all got elusive, and that's going to mean that they've got even more staying power on the board and they're even harder to shift. So I can see that this creature could cause quite a few shenanigans in the battle line once it's out there, if you're capturing a load of amber, or with Sanctum coming back as well. Sanctum historically have captured a lot of amber, plus you've got the 3 enhancements, so I think this is one of the better creatures that's putting enhancements into your deck, in that it's got some quite good abilities that come with it as well. Now, just a quick look at some of these mutant creatures. Each house has them. They're all sort of themed, a combination between 2 different houses. So the Thief is the Shadows version, and then of course you've got Damo Thief, Dino Thief, Lyco Thief, Techno Thief. That's the Sanctum 1 Sacro Thief in Chinese, and then Xeno Thief from Star Alliance. So each of them combines one of the kind of abilities from each of the houses. So the Shadows ability that they all have is elusive, and then you get a different power from each other house. So for example, the Dinosaur Saurian power is play, you can exalt the card if you do deal 3 damage to a creature. Techno Thief the Logos versions all have Reap, discard a card from your hand if you do draw a card, and so on. So interesting to see, really just put them in there so you can see the slight variations on the artwork, and a nice suite of cards. Next up, this is Francis the Economist, so a pretty crazy name for a card, to have it in Shadows. Skirmish, and it has the ability Fight, each player gains 1, and the flavour text there is it's a win-win. So interesting creature. I think you're going to need to synergize this with some other stuff to get some real value out of it, but nice creature, nice artwork, quite like it. Okay, this is Mutant Cutpurse, another 3-power creature. It's a mutant, and this is one of those cards that's really just there putting other enhancements in your deck. So it's put 3 damage pip enhancements into your deck. Otherwise, nothing particularly special about it. A bit disappointing, really, because I really like the artwork on this, and I think it's almost wasted. I'm not particularly thinking this is the most powerful card to have there. I'd probably prefer one of the other creatures that maybe does a little bit more, but interesting to see. Now this is a new one. This is Shadowsaurus. This is a dinosaur thief. So I'm not sure we've really seen many dinosaurs as thieves before. It's got 5 power, 1 armor, and it has the ability action, move each amber from an enemy creature to your opponent's pool. If there was at least 1 amber on that creature, take control of it. While under your control, it belongs to House Shadow. So I'm really liking this card. It's a rare, so I guess, you know, 1 in roughly every 10 cards that you get will be a rare. This would be a great creature to have in your deck. If your opponent's capturing amber, if they're exalting, you know, there are going to be some great targets where, yes, you can give your opponent that amber back, but you're taking control of that creature. It becomes part of House Shadows, and you're going to be able to use it and use any of its abilities or benefits. So really liking Shadowsaurus. Shoulder Id, 6-power creature. It's a spectre. So this one comes with Taunt, and it's a bit interesting. This Shoulder Id cannot fight, but when Shoulder Id would deal damage, steal 1 instead. So, you know, if it gets fought, instead of dealing damage, it will steal. I think that's the way this is going to work. So you've got Taunt, so it has to be attacked. People have to attack and kill it to get to the creatures next to it. If it would deal damage, so if it's in a fight and it would be dealing damage, you get to steal instead. There's probably some other ways to get this to trigger, you know, ways to make the card deal damage, whether it's with upgrades or other effects. And I think with the right play, and once we see the full suite of cards and can really understand how you might utilise this, this could be really handy. Otherwise, even just as a 6-power taunt creature with the ability to steal, I think that's pretty handy too. Next up, Splinter. So a bit of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle theme going on here. 1 power, it's a mutant thief, and it has put 6 damage enhancement pips into your deck. And just from the flavour text, it doesn't cut any slack. Yeah, definitely some callbacks to my youth there with the kind of Turtles themes. Anyway, nice bit of artwork, nice card, but really, yeah, just putting the enhancements in there of itself doesn't do much once it's on the deck. And the Shadowsmith. I really like the artwork here with the kind of spectral beasts around it. Shadowsmith, 3-power creature. Each mutant creature gains elusive, so that includes your opponents. It's symmetrical, the effect. But gaining elusive, again, if you've got a deck with a lot of mutants in, you're up against non-mutant creatures. Yeah, that could again be pretty powerful, giving a lot of elusive out to your battle line. Okay, let's look at some artifacts now. We've been through all the creatures. This is Doom Sigil, which I think got revealed a while ago, but just making sure it's been covered. So it's an artifact. Each creature gains poison. If there are no creatures in play, destroy Doom Sigil. So really this is making every creature absolutely lethal when it's fighting, and I guess the idea is it's going to clear the whole board. Whatever's out on board, next time it fights, it's going to kill something, it's going to get killed, and once there are no creatures in play, Doom Sigil itself will go. Lucky Dice, another artifact. Looks like it comes with, I think that's 1 amber pip on it, and there's 1 enhancement on this one, so I think it'll normally come with 1 amber pip, and it has an Omni effect, destroy lucky dice. During your opponent's next turn, friendly creatures cannot be dealt damage. So that's a pretty handy effect to have, and I guess if you can play that at the right time, hold out for it, that's going to be pretty exceptional in terms of blocking your opponent from taking your creatures off the board by fighting. Next up, this is an upgrade, so we've not seen too many upgrades in Shadows in Mass Mutation so far. Comes with an amber pip. This creature gains elusive, and when you play it, the creature captures 1 amber from your opponent. Next up, it's an action, Borrow. Play, take control of an enemy artifact. While under your control it belongs to House Shadows instead of its original house. So I'm really liking this. This is a really nice bit of artifact control in an action card. Comes with an amber pip, and you get the benefit of your opponent's artifact. So I'm loving this card. I definitely want to see this in some of my decks. And now Ransack, and I like the theme of the names of these cards coming through, really kind of Shadows-y, disruption-y, getting out there, causing problems. And Ransack is another action. Play, steal 1, great effect, discard the top card of your deck. If that card is a Shadows card, trigger this effect again. So you're getting 1 steal off, you might get 2, nice card to have. Vandalize, another action, play. Look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck, discard 1 and put the others back in any order. So this is sort of a really good way to interact with your opponent's deck, disrupt their play. If you know they've got particular key cards that might be coming up, you can get those into the discard, and you can control the next couple of cards they're going to draw. So that's a handy card. It comes with an amber pip as well, so a nice one to have. And that's it. Those are all the new cards that I've seen recently come out in Shadows, and I wanted you to have a chance to look at. If you've enjoyed this video, please do like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you'd like to check out even more of my Keyforge content. I also stream on Twitch at Forerata Live, so if you want to see me in the Crucible streaming some gameplay of Keyforge as well, then please do check that out. I hope you really enjoyed the video. Please do check out my other Mass Mutation spoiler videos of the other houses. Thanks for watching.